What is up? Welcome back to another video. I ordered this on the internet. This is a Nikon FM2. I got it for 60 bucks and it works. It works surprisingly well. Speeds work. As you may know, this is a mechanical camera. There is a electronic component to it for the meter, and it goes up to 1/4000th of a second for a mechanical shutter speed, which is just outrageously fast. Great deal I got it for, but it was missing a few things. You might notice it here. First off, there's no rewind knob, no backdoor opening knob. It comes with the little tab and it's spring loaded, but there's no mechanism here to hold the film in place. So that's a bit of a bummer. I have parts for this though, so that shouldn't be an issue. The problem though is this. There's no back. It came with no film back. Also the seals are a little bit bad, but this is pretty important because, as you know, if you want to like shoot film, roll here, say like I really want to shoot this gold 200, typically I would load it in here, lead it into here, or you can be cool and do it the opposite way, but whatever, floats your boat. So we're loading, okay, cool. And now at about this stage, I'd feel comfortable with the fact that the film has been loaded properly, so I'd close the back. Now you may not know this about film, but it's incredibly sensitive to light. So as I'm shooting it right now, basically I'm just ruining this roll of film because light is exposing it. So people don't know this, but the film back actually does serve a very important purpose, which is not letting light in. Not having one kind of defeats the purpose of having a camera. Now, normally in a situation like this, what I would do is very simple. I would just go into my dungeon of camera parts and put a new back on, put the missing part in there and call it a day. But what I wanted to do is pretend like I was a mentally healthy individual who didn't have a dungeon of camera parts, and pretend like I was normal and just bought a camera that's objectively good camera. And what would I do posed with this problem, a camera without a film back? Well, I would go to Harbor Freight and I'd buy duct tape, as any rational person would, and I would construct something kind of like this, which, may God have mercy on my soul, should function as a bit of a film back. Functionally, this should work, right? I mean, it's covering most of the film gate, enough of. This should be great, right? Well, let's talk about a few things, because we've spoken about how light, unknown to most, actually affects film, but there's a few other key components in a film back. I have this one available. So first what we'll notice is it is black, so it's not letting any light in. This is not black. They didn't have black duct tape, but they had silver. I just layered it a bunch, so light shouldn't come in. Yeah, there's some light coming in. I'll throw a few other layers on it, but light should not come in here. We have this right here. This little notch mechanism feeds into this little slot, and that is what initiates your frame counter. I'm not going to bother trying to design something like that because I can just count maybe. I can try to remember to count up to 36. And then the other thing that's important is this. This is your like pressure pad. And this is going to hold the film in place so you get a nice flat, even exposure and not gonna be all loosey-goosey out of focus. Something you might not notice on your film camera is this. This is your focus mark. So if you're doing macro photography, infrared photography, something that's very critical focus is needed, whatever, you would mark it to this point because this is where the film is. Now, if the film doesn't have this holding it into place, then the film is going to be there, but it also is going to be pressed out maybe a little bit, pressed in a little, whatever. So this helps maintain some level of consistency. You might notice that despite my craftsmanship, I've not been able to design something to work there. So my thought was I could potentially just take this and put that on there. It's a little bit cheating, I grant you that, because just taking and picking and choosing what of the film back that we're going to keep. But I do feel like it's important to have like a kind of working thing. The thing I'm most interested in is the light leaks. I don't really mind about the film counter, and I'd really not want to mess up more than I'm going to already. So we're going to just kind of do something like this, and then fuse it all together. But in order to begin this process, I thought it'd probably be best to load a roll of film. So we've got this kind of standard Fuji 200 that we'll be doing. I'll be a cool guy, load it this way. Okay, sweet. And then I will place this here. I'm thinking this is kind of the fold we're looking for. We're gonna need a lot more duct tape. The solution to most of my problems in life is more adhesive. So as you can tell, this is pretty light, tight material. I'm going to run a few extra layers around here just to make sure that absolutely no light is coming in. I have no doubt in my mind this will be an excellent thing I'm spending my time and money on. I don't know how many ducks died for this duct tape, but their sacrifices will not be in vain because we're here doing science. The worst thing is I'm trying to think of like how to title this video that will make it even remotely interesting to like the algorithm. The best I can come up with is, do you actually need a film back? And I just don't think that's going to be enough. I feel like people are going to have more questions than answers, but I don't think it's like asking a question that is like, yeah, that's a video I want to watch. I think it's just, that's a dumb question to ask. Which I think would be worth kind of examining the rationale behind that. I just had this idea in mind. I thought this would be kind of funny. Time to get serious, okay? Time to really buckle down and be for real. So we'll do that. That's going to hold that in place. I'm going to give this a couple go-throughs because what we're going to basically be doing is just creating a massive wad of tape. That's what this is, and it just smells like duct tape. This is great. At what point does a massive wad of duct tape stop becoming a camera? Find out. It's an existential question there. I'm going to pretend to leave myself a little bit of viewfinder, but there are concerns. There are some massive concerns. Okay, that's fine. All good. The other thing that we didn't talk about is rewinding the film. Obviously that's going to be a bit of an issue, and I didn't really think about that until this moment, so cross that bridge when we get to it. I suspect there is some dark bag work in my future. We'll see how that goes. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure that the film is actually going properly, so I'm going to make a mark there, and then going to pull again and do one more. Okay, so we're clear. And now it's officially ready to kind of shoot with. I just want to make sure that the film is advancing properly-ish. I don't really like how any of this feels. I think it looks terrible. This is the dumbest shit ever. The best thing about this is I think it really lends itself to customization. I can do a lot with this. I mean, for real, I can do many things with this. You know, I could do a cool design here on the back, and if I don't like it, just tape it over. Which, you know, I think really lends itself to exploring some creative freedoms. So that's cool. I don't like this still. This is a bit of a concern. So we're going to do some pro strat techniques. I'll take this, precision work here. And we will tape that in just like so, like there as well. And then the other side, worth a go. Take that. Let's see, any other points of concern? I think I pretty much got it all covered. This, maybe I'll do one more along the top here. Just because I know that this is not the most light tight tape of all time. So I'm very concerned about just a little bit of light coming through. Yeah, should be. There we go. I'm happy. I'll add a lot of like a big old chunk of tape here, make a little front grip. Guys, I'll let you in on like a little secret. This is how you make what the kids would call duct tape leather back in the day. Learned this at the library. You take a piece of duct tape like so, and then you take another piece of duct tape, and then you completely botch it, just like that. You lay it out. It's like half of it. And then you lay out another piece, takes up the other half, and then you're able to kind of build off of that, make like a wallet and shit. What else? Whatever else you want to do. But for my purposes, I'm going to be making a front grip. Trying to. That. Yeah, not bad. It's like a F3 pretty much. Is your life falling apart? Just go down to Harbor Freight, pick up some duct tape. Fixes just about everything. Can't fix your marriage, but can fix your film camera. Okay, now I've made the M2, the Nikon M2. I like that. That's not bad. That's actually, listen. I'm coming around to it, okay? I'm coming around to it. Good to go. Now again, remember, no frame counter, so we're just gonna be guessing. We could run a little tally on the back here. I think I've done 3 shots. I'm making a LCD for this. Film, here, I might as well just make like a little holder for the Sharpie. I could do that. Or, oh, that would have been smart to do that. We could. There we go, look at that. Perfect, all in one go. Honestly, this might even be better than a film back. All right, so let's take this out to the field and shoot through the roll. Then we'll see the results, see how it shakes out. So I just got the scans back from the lab, and we are going to find out together whether or not my bet paid off. Can you use duct tape to secure the film back of a Nikon FM2 or any film camera for that matter and produce quality, consistent images? Do you really need a camera film back is the question we're hoping to answer today. Let's find out. Yes, you do. So off the bat, we have quite a few light leaks. Quite a lot of light leaks. Now, if you are a Fuji X-Half photographer, this might inspire you, excite you. This might make you think, oh, this is great. I don't have to find a little toggle or a fun switch. The camera just produces these light leaks naturally. And if that's your cup of tea, then fantastic. If you're an actual film photographer, you look at this and you might think, wow, this is really poor quality photography, to which I would probably agree. There are a few caveats. Obviously, when I was taking these photos, it was incredibly bright and sunny out, which I don't think helped matters. You can see in this one picture, I'm under the shade of a tree, and the light leaks are noticeably less bad. Other images still have their issues here and there. I would say that I'm not willing to throw in the towel just yet. I think with better tape, we're looking at a completely different data set here. The things I am excited about though is that the taping of the pressure plate did in fact maintain sharp focus, as you can see in all these images, outside of the few where I'd like genuinely just missed focus because it was very hard to look through the eyepiece with the amount of tape that was nearby, and then also the scent of the Sharpie. But the images themselves, despite some of the light leaking issues, do have a very interesting quality to them, and I would say it is a successful first attempt. It is a proof of concept. However, if you are to buy a camera without a film back, I would recommend you just find a film back or buy a camera with a film back on it, even if it's going to cost you a little bit more money, because these results, although maybe appetizing to, again, those Fuji X-Half photographers who want a plugged-in light leak, I think for most people we can agree that this is not an ideal way to take photos. So I would say it's fun, needs some work. We might revisit this project in the future, so make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on that update. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Let me know if you think this was a massive waste of everyone's time. Thank you all the same for watching. I do appreciate that very much, and I hope that my pain and my failures brought you a little bit of joy on this day. So thank you again. Like this video, subscribe, you know what to do. I appreciate that support, and I'll catch you on the next one.